Namah Shri Shankarananda. Salutation to Shri Shankarananda. The Shri is used out of respect, the embodiment of bliss and wisdom. Guru Padam Bhujjanmane, to the lotus feet of the Guru, acknowledging the source of inner guidance. That is another meaning of the lotus feet of the Guru. Savilas Mahamoha, addressing the great play of delusion. We discussed about crocodile of delusion many a times. So addressing, who addresses the Guru? Why he addresses? Because he wants the seekers must get rid of it. Graha grasaika karmani, recognizing the sole function of the wisdom to devour the monster of ignorance. Before we dive into the Eastern wisdom, we always start with the Mangalacharan. We do it in a quick way, but you have to do it daily. You have to spend some time on this. So let us understand again when we say Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padam Bhujjanmane. So literal meaning is salutation to Sri Shankarananda, the embodiment of bliss and wisdom, to the lotus feet of the Guru. So what the meaning, what is the knowledge, what is the wisdom hidden in this first line? So the words Shankarananda, picturize in your mind. What is this Shankarananda? It means bliss and wisdom. Not some distant God, but pure awareness you already are. Reflected as a Guru. Now things are very clear. Shankarananda means bliss and wisdom. It is not distant God, but it is pure awareness we already are, reflected as a Guru. And the lotus feet is a metaphor for purity, rising from the mud of the life. Mud? So again you see that? We gave a lot of references of lotus flower. It grows out of the mud, and when it rises, lotus flower is considered one of the most beautiful flowers. So we have to rise from the delusion, mud of delusion. And third and the fourth line, Savilas Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmani. So what the Guru does, now we are very clear. Guru is sitting in us, reflected as the outer representative of your real self, and that is what you are listening to. But everything is you. So what the Guru does? Addressing the great play of delusion that entangles the mind, recognizing the sole function of wisdom to devour the monster of ignorance. means what? Oh, our confusion, doubts, ego, pain, suffering, relationship issues, professional, mental, and psychological problems, they are addressed as Mahamoha, a sneaky crocodile in the swamp of our mind. It tricks us into thinking we are separate, small, stuck. What the Guru does? It's ultimate crocodile eater. One bite, and that delusion is a lunch. That is the essence of the first verse of this text. So now you have to apply it through your contemplation and reflection. So the first thing first, the presence. You notice thoughts, feeling, and emotions within your mind as a neutral observer. Means the thoughts are coming and going. The thought says just scratch your head. No. You just notice the thought. You don't put it into an action. That is what is the meaning of the presence. You have an extraordinary presence. You are aware of it. Recognizing the inner space where these thoughts, feeling, and emotions appear and disappear. So what happens? You own an observer. You own an observer. So now the observer is separate from the observed. That is the beauty of this contemplative mindfulness practice. The presence is first, then you own an observer. Any thought, feeling, emotions, stress, duality, and a conflict, you have a feeling that this is not me. I know it. I'm the knower of it. So now you investigate the flow of these thoughts, feeling, and emotions. First thought, oh, I love my honey. Second thought, oh, the honey has an issue. He or she doesn't listen. You see, investigate the flow. So now you have investigated both the thoughts pertaining to the same person. What happens? You never think of it. But what happens is the non-attachment. This passion takes place when you are observing as an observer, observing both the thoughts about the same person. For example, my honey, yes, loves me, but another thought has a problem. So you are creating a problem to yourself, but here what happened? You have already created non-attachment. You're not attached to the thought that, I love my honey, or you don't create an aversion. But he has a problem. Investigate the flow. We are doing the poise method of mindfulness. P, presence. O, an observer. I, investigate the flow. When you investigate the flow, to go beyond attachment, and aversion. When? Here and now. But when your mind is filled with the impurity, you say, okay, I have understood, I will do it after that, I will try to do it. No, here and now. Then your mind is deluded. And then what happens? It is because of this passion, investigating the flow, you start recognizing the space in you, the space in the mind. And that is the letter S, the spaciousness. We acknowledge the space, continuous aware of the space in which all mental content appears. Then what happens? It establishes an unchanging foundation of awareness. Why you acknowledge the space? To cognize. I'm using the word from modern psychology, or cognition. Or what happens with the cognition? You have a cognition of two things. One, continuous awareness, or you can say unbroken, if I use the word unbroken awareness, and constant changing experiences in the form of the thoughts. Now the things is, we are already in the state of mindfulness. So either we recognize the space, or if we cannot realize it, there is no clear cognition, we can just start looking at the breath, not focusing, looking at the breath. And then the last letter is E. You embody. You already embody peace. But to stress upon it in the beginning, we recognize with Om Shanti. We ask the mind, just say Om Shanti and recognize. We ask the mind to say Om Shanti, and the meaning is I am peace. So there is a cognition. The way you say I am Stephen, I am Dennis, I am Sugar, I am Christina, the same thing. It's very simple, and I have told you again and again what is very simple, logical, appears extremely challenging and difficult. So we can enter into that state of mindfulness any time, in any situation in our life, in any event. And that takes us to a great becoming a great seeker. And now open your eyes. So as a seeker, we should also understand and follow the same sequence. First we do the Mangalacharan, especially in the Saturday's session. And then the second step, we share our experiences, how we lived, how from the last session our life has been. We check, we observe, we analyze, check what changes took place in our daily life. We evaluate our attitude, behavior, and conduct. We also check how we expressed our thought, speech, and action, and we keep those principles in the mind during the day. We apply it, we reflect, we create, and then we ask a couple of questions about ourselves. How much progress has been made? That is the whole story of the second step. That is how we move into the Saturday's session. More or less, there are little differences in different sessions. The third session, that we focus briefly on what Eastern wisdom does. That means the satsang, the company of the real. You might have seen that I instantly switch on to a topic. Every topic has a masses, company of the real. Real means why? Why real? So that I can perceive what is false. So, by metaphor, by a story, about an introduction, that is how that I take the third step. Fourth step, that what are the tools of Eastern wisdom in our daily life? It's a Mangalacharan. Listening and learning means satsang. Then we have a discernment and dispassion in the six treasures. Then we then we do practice and experience. Every day we check, and then we apply the wisdom, daily analysis, and we correct our thought, speech, and action by changing our attitude, behavior, and conduct. Goes back to why? Because it is the company of the real. I have to abide in the real self. Why I have to abide in real self? A sequence is there. It is because of awakening and self-knowledge, whatever we want to say. You can have any word for it. Tools of Eastern wisdom. So we are aware of the tools of Eastern wisdom to dominate you. I should be angry, I should shout at you. Tools of the Eastern wisdom is different. We have done. Then we come to that what we are going to discuss today. So I pick up a particular topic, a specific topic. I may carry forward from the last session, or I may introduce a new topic while giving reference indirectly of the previous topic. Why? To help remove the ignorance of the mind. Whether you say ignorance of the mind or the delusion of the mind, and followed by the practice. But on Saturday's session, we do the practice in the beginning itself. That is one basic difference between the other sessions also. So you should remember that this dear guy is going to ask me that how many times every day you experience suffering, anxiety, duality. So I have to check, I have to analyze, I have to observe. I am not observing about my life, and I observe the other's life. Look at this guy, how crazy he is. So I have to look at myself because it is the company of the real. So let us start sharing our experiences. Let us start with Dennis. Since the last session.
Yes, I have been in this in the past 2 days since the last session, practicing regularly every day, observing my own mind, thoughts, speech, actions, and catching the attempts of the mind to complain or react. And I think I'm succeeding with it so far. So yes, peaceful.
Beautiful. You see that your thought comes from your mind that I'm succeeding in it. What happens with the delusion? I have a lot of problems, stress, my honey doesn't listen to me, job is not there. We all have the same challenges. But the mind should get rid of the delusion. A beautiful pointer, I'm succeeding. I'm not failing. Beautiful. How are you, Stephen?
Thank you, sir. I'm good. Everything's good. Thursday was a great day. Yesterday had the potential of being an extremely busy day. I had required tasks, let's just say, that needed to get done. And in my contemplation reflection before going to bed last night, it was just a great day. And my question to myself was why? And going back in that contemplation, I realized that every task, I turned it into a meditation and just took it as it came. And the element that really showed itself, which was clear in your lesson today, was every aspect of my day yesterday was filled with dispassion. It just didn't matter. Where in the past I used to get caught up on, okay, what's next? I gotta leave myself enough time to get to the next thing. Okay, what do I have? I can't start this because I have this to do and whatever it is. And none of that took place because just went with whatever it was, okay, time to go out, get to that meeting. Okay, that's done. I need to now head over to go across town, not worried about traffic, not worried about whatever the case might be, because it just gave me an opportunity. If there was traffic, it's an opportunity for me to meditate in the car. So everything was just great, and it's what I've landed on today is that I'm just becoming dispassionate about the stuff I can't control. So thanks.
Beautifully said. You see, his pointers, daily analysis, dispassion. You pick up any pointer, and you will see the life becomes easy and carefree, completely. Why? Because our goal is very high. Very high. So we have to take that life to the awakened state. So every step counts. How are you, Christina?
Thank you, sir. I have been in a very calm and peaceful state, and it is so quick that when my old patterns and the ignorance of the mind wants to do something habitual that was negative, and it's so quick that I'm able to just say the Mangalacharam or just check with myself and have that observer outside of meditating. So when I'm in my daily life, and I noticed also, I was talking to someone who I still think very highly of. She is someone that I look up to, and she said something that was to help, I think, to be helpful for like maybe some advice that I didn't ask for. And a part of me started to get really hot, and I just looked at myself, from within and from back, and I just laughed, and I had to keep a straight face because I didn't want to laugh in her face. But I just said, wow, that's so funny. I was about to get so reactive, but I don't need to, because there's no need. So
Beautiful.
thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, duty. You said past pattern wants to repeat itself. I become aware. I switch on to the Mangalacharan. How easy it is to do it for a seeker, and how challenging it is to do for a non-seeker. And that demands a clear understanding. The path, yes, I'm holding myself. I wanted to talk something more. Yes, Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. So it was calm, it was relaxed. And I keep on checking myself that which actions I'm taking in delusion or coming out of ego. So it keeps me motivated that I have to improve, and next time I have to improve. I'll keep doing that.
Yes. You see, this again, you all have shown the pointers based on your mind, your personality, your life. And every pointer is important. Every pointer ultimately takes you there. I have to check whether I'm performing this out of the ego or out of the anxiety, or I'm doing it out of the peace and happiness. So you see that what a great pointer. So Terry, you want to share something? So now you see that you should remember all those sequences. I will repeat couple of times so that you will keep in your mind that what exactly. Do you want to say something, Terry?
I couldn't unmute. Yeah, I well, I've applied um well the techniques have helped me with my sleep.
Yeah.
I make sure that I go inward.
Yes.
And
That's
that
another pointer.
leads me to sleep at night. During the day, I've had a little. I tried to apply the advice.
Beautiful.
About look at your honey and picture the master.
Yes.
But if I had a problem doing that.
No issue. Keep doing it.
Well, what do I do about, how do I think about the person?
Yeah, you look at my master. You look at my master and say that, oh, my master is manifesting through this person, through this maid, through this helper, through this caretaker. Finished.
I don't understand how to think about, because they would never be the things that the person does are so, the person is so
let us solve this problem in a simple way.
I don't want to be insulting,
let it be the topic today. First, what is the topic? Satsang. What is the opposite of satsang? The company of the unreal, the company of the delusion. So when you see a person as if nasty, still your mind leaves that thought and you say, oh, my master is appearing, manifesting in this form, in this name, to teach me the resilience, to teach me the patience, to teach me the calmness. Let me withdraw myself from any form of reaction. Finished. You say to your mind, that is the part of the learning, because I have to evolve. If other is not evolving, why should I focus on them?
Okay.
Let us make it in a more clear way. Very clear. What is the clear? That is the part of the satsang. I have just explained you how I format these sessions. The mirror, the glass, the mirror that thought it was cracked. Why it thought it was cracked? That is the part of the satsang today. So understand, there was once a perfectly clear mirror hanging in a room. People came and stood before it. One day a sad person cried in front of it. Another day a laughing child played in front of it. Another day a dog came and started finding another dog in the mirror, started fighting and barking. Another day someone angry shouted at themselves in the mirror. Pay attention what I am going to say. Over years, the dust gathered on the surface of the mirror. And someone wrote on the mirror, I am ugly, I am sad, I am laughing, I am barking, I am failing, no one loves me. The mirror did its job, it reflected whatever stood before it. But after a long time, the mirror started imagining. Pay attention, Terry, and all of you. But after some time, the mirror started imagining, maybe I'm sad, maybe I'm ugly, maybe I'm barking, maybe I'm a failure, maybe something is wrong with me. This is just a story. It is our story of our daily life. That is why we have tools of the Eastern wisdom to clear. Don't fall into the company of the delusion. Just move towards the real. The sadness belongs to the person, not to the mirror. The anger belongs to the mind in front of a mirror. The barking is because of the delusion. The words written in the dust were on the surface, not the substance. It does not affect in any way the mirror. We are like that mirror. So Eastern wisdom and satsang makes it clear. What it makes it clear? We didn't shout at the mirror. You are bad for having a dust. No. Wipe away the writing. You are not the words written on you. You are not even the images that appear in you. You are the clear surface that reflects everything and remains untouched by all of it. Mirror cannot keep that impression. You stand before it and I stand before it. The moment I leave, the impression is gone. But I hold on to that impression. What will happen if, for example, if Daniel says something to me, what will happen if Christina says something to me? That is a part of the delusion. I am living with the company of the real. So the mirror asked, what about all the years I thought I was words and faces? Was I responsible for all that suffering? Is the mirror? Mirror is thinking, am I responsible for all these thoughts suffering? Satsang makes it clear you were never guilty. You were never ignorant of your real nature. The dust in the writing created the appearance of a cracked, ugly mirror, barking mirror. That layer of the ignorance is the part of the Prakriti. Come back to our main topic. But the mirror, that is Purusha, that is the real self. It does not change at all. So that is why I told Terry that just look at it. Look at it. When I always say in the beginning that I perceive you all as my masters pushing me to express the Eastern wisdom. So where is the problem with anyone? Deluded mind deliberately creates a pain, reaction, anger, and hesitation. So, mind, let me deliberately follow the path of the real self. Where is the problem? So, when I do it couple of times, we recognize that this is what happens. The life changes. We become a seeker, we are ready for the higher journey. So I made it clear about the tools of the Eastern wisdom. So now, what we discussed in the last session, let me put it in a different way. I have to check myself whether I'm hanging out with the gossip, means the delusion, or the real. You just become aware whether it's a company of the real. Company of the real moves your mind inside. Company of the delusion moves your mind outside. Blame, complaint, reaction, duality, and a conflict. First thought. Never forget this. How I proved it? I told you that we are traveling outside. It's very easy. I have to reach to you. I have to attend a session at 7:50 a.m. Arizona time. You remember, the path is very clear. So we travel outside, but we wander inside by our thoughts, feeling, and emotions. That is what we say the mind is wandering, because it is not very clear what to do. So it is another word our masters uses: extrovert, introvert, wandering inside. No wandering. I have to stop this wandering. Why? Because of that wandering, the crocodile of delusion takes place. Because I don't see any cause and effect relationship of the mind wandering. My honey doesn't listen to you. Mind is wandering. My honey. So your honey is inside you. Okay. So he or she doesn't listen to me. Mind, why you are thinking like this? Just drop it. Move to the real. No, I have to think because it pertains to my life. No, it does not pertain to your life. Your life belongs to you, not to anyone, including your honey. Calm down first, reflect on it, and then see where is the problem. If you don't do that, then crocodile of delusion will take care of it. How much wrong you are, how much I have been honest to you, my honey, in these years, and how much you have been dishonest to me. That is the pattern of the mind. The mind starts thinking like this. I told you attachment and aversion. Investigate the flow. You are the knower of the flow. You are not the flow. I am the knower of the flow, Purusha. I am not the flow, Prakriti. That is how we have to apply practically in our life. Anytime, anywhere. Another thought: the real teacher eats your delusion, not your snacks. They are not interested in your snacks. The teacher, as a Eastern wisdom teacher, I'm more interested in eating your delusion, provided you allow me. You allow me means that you are a seeker. So we have a great seeker, Ashok. So how it happens? So now I'm just following in a thought process. So you have to follow this thought. Satsang means that you follow a thought process that ultimately reveals what is real by the cause and effect. Today session, I just changed the entire in a very, I amplified, very practical way. No, I am in stress. It is your outdated operating system. Remember this. I have anxiety. It is outdated operating system. You remind your mind. That is why you have reaction, duality, and delusion. Otherwise, there is no chance. What to do? Do the poise method first, return again, contemplate and reflect again. Then what happens? Then you recognize that you are not the traffic, you are the highway. Highway does not change. Purusha. I'm just making it very simplified way. You simply remember this. Repeat in your mind and you see what happens. I'm the highway. Highway changes? No. Traffic changes? Yes. In the midnight? No traffic. In the afternoon? Too much of traffic. Oh, seer in the seen, observer in the observed. What happens? We start focusing on what is changing. We want to hold on to it, and we are not present. The first step of presence, poise method. We keep focusing on what is changing, as if the mind will hold one day what is changing. I gave you an example, do you remember? I gave you a red hot iron ball. Iron ball is holding, I will always be red and hot. Not possible. Don't focus. People say, you have to don't focus on what is changing. Understand it is a changing from this movement to that moment and be free. What it needs, what Stephen said, discernment and dispassion. We don't need to empty the mind. We need right mind, right, good and proper mind that takes me to what is real. Daily life we have to do. Then only we can come to the title of these sessions, Am I the Consciousness? So then what happens at that stage of awareness, we can instantly lay off, not this, I'm body, no. Breath, no. Mind, no. Intellect, no. Anger, no. Sad, no. Pleasure, no. Pleasure coming from the word no. Happiness coming from the word no, 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 no. You rejected everything that is changing, that is Prakriti. You cannot reject I am. How can you reject I am? Then you abide in that I am, that is the pure consciousness, unchanging, real self. That is the real self. So that is another way to summarize what we did last time in a different way. It's a process of evolution. Satsang, I have to talk about something interesting. I told you a couple of times, Yog Vasist. It is one of the oldest texts which contains more than 40,000 verses. 40,000 verses, to explain one verse, it takes 5 sessions, 5 hours. 40,000 multiplied by 5 hours. But another great master said that hardly 200 verses will help you to understand the entire text instead of going through 80,000. But I should be capable. So what is the meaning of being capable? We eat dessert, a slight sugar is there, taste of a sugar, the sweetness, or we eat ice cream. So instead of offering you a dessert when you come to my home or the ice cream, I offer you a cup of pure sugar. Please have a dessert. Understand the logic of these masters. You may say that I like this ice cream, can I have another one? But can you say that I can have another cup of sugar? What a crazy guy. He invited us and then now he's offering us sugar. Here is it, his dessert. So you take a half a teaspoon and you eat it. No, that's all. Thank you very much. Why you said thank you? You are not at the highest level of a seeker to absorb the sugar. Only in 200 verses, those as compared to 40,000 verses. Are you getting it? You get a feel of it? That is why. Otherwise, every master has to repeat the same thing again and again. Why? Until we reach to that point. Purusha and Prakriti. I said 25 elements. 25th element, either you say, is Purusha. Rest 24 is part of the Prakriti. In a simple language, you can say matter. You can further say it is inert. Check what is inert. And if your mind is running after what is inert and changing and causing you anxiety, duality, and a conflict, be mindful, be aware, drop it. Drop it from where? Drop it from the mind. Say, for example, a guy is sitting in front of me. He is crazy. So who is experiencing he is crazy? My mind. So let me drop this thought that he is crazy. That is what the Terry did not understand. I have to drop that idea, that thought, that feeling from my mind. That guy is not entering into me. Why? Thought is inert, part of the mind. It is Prakriti. It is traffic. It is not highway. Why it is not highway? It is changing. Why it is changing? Oh, yesterday the same guy was so good to me. I praised him, appreciated him. Or, yesterday I did not have any thought about him. We have the same kind of opposing thoughts in favor or against our relationship or partner. I have to maintain my awareness. No. Mind, Prakriti, don't teach me. So you are centered in peace, in observer. That is what I explained to you. Red hot iron ball. An iron ball is naturally cold in the black, Prakriti. Fire is naturally hot in the light, representative of pure consciousness, the Purusha. Because we always say that we are formless, fire is formless. So this master gave a very near example, near metaphor. So when joined, the iron ball appears red and hot, borrows the qualities of the fire, while the fire borrows the shape of the ball. I am formless. I borrowed the shape of this body, and then I am saying that I am this body and the mind. But the body keeps on changing. Now apply this principle. Body keeps on changing, and the body is inert. Body cannot say I am the body. If body can say anyhow that I am the body, then I can agree that yes, I am the body. All your principles of Eastern wisdom are wrong. We will drop it. Can you drop it? Drop it. No chance. Oh, so the body is inert. I am the body. The inert matter of the body mind borrows consciousness, leading the individual to identify. Now identification has come. I am the body and the mind. Okay. How it takes place? What happened deeper inside? Because of the gunas. Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. We will link it. You will understand the cause and effect completely. That is what we are undergoing. Satoguna means the goodness leading to peace, wisdom, and the good space. Sukha. Rajoguna activity and a passion, which, when combined with unmet expectations, leads to anger and hesitation and reaction and delusion. Tamoguna, inertia and ignorance, manifesting as laziness, reactivity, delusion, and violence. Tamoguna, in the state of the tamoguna, your mind says you are crazy. Eastern wisdom is nothing. It's a layup. You just layup. There is nothing in it. You simply reject, outrightly reject, without understanding. In Rajoguna, you run after, you do working, you become the body and the mind, intellect, and the. In Satoguna, everything loosens, you recognize. Satoguna means the knowledge and the purity, awareness. Because we are human beings, we can recognize it, we can regulate the mind. So we have to use this. We have to use this. That is what the Kapila is presenting. Kapila is showing us logically, mathematically, a step-by-step process to reach to that awakened state. I have reasons to believe that Buddha borrowed some of the principles from this master. All masters, not only the Buddha. All great masters, they referred to Buddha, to Kapila. 4,000 years from today. Yes, you can say 2,000 years. Almost 4,000 years from today. He revolutionized. You don't follow these rituals and customs and God and the religion. Follow this. Well, if you want to say Purusha is a God, Kapila says, I agree with you. Physics, chemistry shows you here is hydrogen, here is oxygen, here is nitrogen. Kapila shows here is Purusha, here is Prakriti. Where is the problem? Here is the Purusha, here is the Prakriti. That is what the science does. H2O. All the desalination plants were destroyed, perhaps, in Iran and Israel war. Desalination. That is how the science perceives. Kapila says, what is Purusha and what is Prakriti? Just identify. Purusha, Prakriti, Buddhi. Buddhi means intellect, ego, mind, senses, gunas, This is the chemistry of my experience. I'm using different words, pay attention. Don't go to the what do you say? Don't go to the neuroscience where we say a neuron basically is a nerve, but neurotransmitter is basically a protein molecule. We always had a very hot debate. Now he is no more. Just a couple of months he died in Texas. He also immigrated from India. He was a biochemist. So we were a team doing the research studies in India. He used to say that neuron. Yes, I know it contains very thin, even 1,000 times subtler than the thread. These neurons, there are billions of neurons present in the brain, and neurotransmitter is like a protein. So when that protein molecule jumps from one neuron to the another, the thought occurs. That is how the science says. Just a basic understanding. We are not going deeper into it. So we are not talking of chemistry, that chemistry of experience. We are talking of chemistry of experience from the Prakriti, inert matter, which also includes this. But how intellect, mind, ego plays its role in helping the protein molecule jump from one neuron to the other is deeply understood by the Kapila, not understood by the science. My shame, my jealousy, my hatred, my reaction, it is this chemistry of experience understood by Kapila in Prakriti. This belongs to Prakriti. You are none of them. You are feeling guilt? No. Red or iron. You are not. Anxiety? No. Stress? No. You are mixing. Can you see the declaration? Can you see the confidence? Why not Buddha and other masters should borrow these principles from this master? And we can easily relate it. Kapila lived almost 1500 years before Buddha was born. So this is the chemistry of experience. This is the carbon appears in both diamond and coal. The same mental element of ego. I'm comparing. Same mental element of ego shows up as pride, shame, heart. Different forms, same element. Kapila is that master who refuses, it is just my nature, and replies, no, it is just a certain mixture of gunas, mine in the memory, your past impression. Adjust your recipe, and you are in peace and happiness. It's a practical. I'm not saying that it's just a philosophy. The moment anger is there, you start thinking, anger without Raju and Tamoguna, there cannot be anger. But who is the knower of the anger? You are the knower of the anger. Are you affected? No, I am as it is. Before the anger, I was the knower. After the anger, I was the knower. In the anger, I'm still the knower. I'm not affected at all. I'm a Purusha. Prove it, it is wrong. You will see that I love Kapila more than I love every master. They have their own approach. No, it's just a certain mixture of gunas, mine, and I'm guilty, I'm frustrated, I'm dying, I'm failing. All belongs to Prakriti, not to you. You are mistaken. You have a mistaken identity. How to understand 25 elements, three gunas? Kapila shows us that thought, moods, and identities are configurations, not curses, not blame, complain. you start thinking in that term. What I said? Kapila shows us that the thought, moods, and identities are configurations. Do you remember in chemistry? Oxygen. What is the electronic configuration? It has, Dennis, it has 8 electrons. Yes, it has 8 electrons. Hydrogen, only 1. Salt looks salty. It is sodium chloride. Now think, anger out of the 25 elements. Oh, now I understand. It is not me. It is not my nature. Not at all. You declare it is not my nature. You declare it is not my nature. The thought that I had a habit of becoming angry will weaken. Thought of your guilt will dissolve. I'm seeing a very pragmatic approach, very practical. This is what the Kapila, and he makes it very clear by giving another solid, I would say the most strong, solid example. Do you remember the lame and the blind? The lame is the seer, blind is the doer. I perform all my actions blindly because of the pressure of Raju and Tamoguna. Then I say that I am angry, agitated, I am blaming, complaining. I am blind. Lame? Lame is only the seer, the knower. There's nothing. It is pure consciousness, my friend. It is pure awareness that only sees, Purusha. Prakriti, activity that only moves. And moment they have a mixture, they seemingly mixture, that is the world outside. The world of people, world of relationship, world of hate and anger and duality and a conflict. It is because of the mixture. You separate them and then show me where is the anger. You show me where is the pleasure. In the world, you show me where is curse, where is the guilt. What a strong conviction by which this Kapila guides us. Get rid of all the things. Purusha, lame, Prakriti, blind. Should I tell you? That will bring an end to this session today. I have to add one more thought in this process that is very good. It just came to my mind. What I want, do you know it? I know you will say you know it. Well, if you know it. Did you make your effort to complete what I want? Did you fulfill your want until now? Answer is big no. I will marry to be happy. You got married to your soulmate, no objection from the world. After a few weeks, what you want to remind yourself. You wanted happiness in the marriage. Did you fulfill that want? Christina is laughing, yes. Don't worry, we are clever, we are hiding our. You are young, so you are open, good. What I want, did I fulfill my want until today? But if you recognize this want is a mixture, separate it, finished. It is finished. We will talk about it. How it happens, how you separate it, we will do in a next lesson. But I gave you a thought. What I want today. Forget about the past. What I want today. Let me work, fulfill that want. After that, ask the mind, did I fulfill it? Mind says no. You are crazy. If it is not, tell me. That is the beauty of this Kapila. Yes, Dennis, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thanks. Thank you for the session. And I'm taking away 3 points from this session. The first point is our mind is like a mirror that reflects many different states and has the capacity to remain unaffected by these states. But when the mind associates, mixes with the reflection, it becomes diluted. And there comes the role of discernment that enables us to separate the mirror from the reflection, or the real from unreal, and stick with the mirror and not the reflection. The second point is that when you talk about wandering inside, the way I understand it, it is the process that creates this dust in the mirror. It is like indulging in thoughts that are not necessary, not helpful,
Yeah.
and even harmful. But at the same time, they provide a false sense of comfort. So when we observe our thoughts instead of being entangled with them, we can just discard unnecessary thoughts and keep our mirror clean. And the third point is when I feel that someone is hurting me mentally or emotionally, I have to remember 3 things. That the first thing is that this feeling takes place only in my mind. It doesn't come from the person outside. The second thing is that the person may not even have any intention to hurt me. It is only their way to seek happiness.
Yeah.
And the third point, this offers me an opportunity to evolve, to remove this pattern of reaction to someone's action from my mind, and purifying my mind this way.
Beautifully said, beautifully summary. You see that we have to listen to it again and again, look from his perspective. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you for the lesson. For me, it started off, I was really contemplating, reflecting on Terry's sharing, and really thinking about it, and relating it to myself, and as well as I have weekly conversations with my nephew, who continues to struggle and not part of our sessions anymore, and it's the same thing over and over again, and I have the same conversations over and over again for the last 3-4 years, and I started thinking about it. And today, it came to me where I always say every situation is an opportunity for us to learn, but it's an incomplete sentence. And what came to me today is that it's an opportunity for us to learn about ourselves and really push it back to how everything's affecting us. And then listening to your lesson, the Coppola just puts it in such a logical, systematic, and practical way, which is the words I was using, and you said it at the very end. And that's why I smirked, which I don't know if you saw that, because that's how I did. And I said, that's my, and again, this lesson was more, I wasn't taking it about myself. It was like, how can I help my nephew more so, and give him the direction to get him past the point of just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. So thank you.
Yes. When I recognize I'm doing the same thing again and again and expecting a result related to what I want, did I fulfill it? I'm not. I have an anxiety and duality and a conflict, unnecessary problems in our life. We invite those problems. Terry, are you listening?
Yes.
Did you find the solution?
I concluded that all experiences are a gift.
Yes, it is a great gift. That experience is a mixture of Prakriti and Purusha. So I have to learn it. The moment I separate, that experience teaches me something great, wonderful. Thank you. The one who says you are crazy, oh, thank you, you taught me a good lesson. And then reformat your mind. Why? Mind is part of the Prakriti, I am Purusha. No one can give me a certificate that I am crazy. But if you take it in a wrong way, what Stephen was saying and Stephen's nephew is doing, he takes it in a wrong way. And he continues with that big ego. And suffering is big. You have a big ego, you will suffer most. Leave aside you nephew, look at our richest guys in the United States. Anyhow, we'll not talk about it, they will sue me. Christina.
Thank you, Girish, and thank you for everyone sharing so far. This is just beautiful lesson. I think this is a beautiful time to, and I'm very grateful to be learning all of this. And I am absolutely eager and joyous to move forward and use these skills and this knowledge. And I'm excited. Right when you post this, I'll be re-listening to this and taking notes. So I have a lot to absorb.
Yeah. Listen to it again and again every day. Listen and stop it and then contemplate and reflect. You will get this. It's a part of the knowledge. It's a part. The mind should absorb this knowledge. When you observe this knowledge, you will start having an insight and a revelation. And that revelation says, oh, this is a part of the Prakriti. Why I have to spend and waste my time. Waste my time. Beautiful. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So I realize that how I see, but I actually don't see that mind is jumping from one desire to another desire, but not realizing that what it actually needs. And in every desire, he is on one thing only. And then he doesn't realize that out of all these desires, he was not able to fulfill that.
Yes, you explained beautifully. What I want is still not fulfilled. At the same time, this mind continues to say, I am very clear what I want. What I'm clear? I want love from you. I'm 100% clear, and you don't love me. You see, another one. So you don't love me. Now the third one. You hate me, but I love you. Now you see, you mix all the three statements. This is what I want. I'm not clear what I want. Use this metaphor in everything that you want. Your mind moves from the delusion to dispassion, and you are very clear. What the heck? Why I'm spending unnecessary time here? That is all for today. Thank you very much for listening to. Yeah, Ashok is not there. Yeah, Ashok doesn't. Ashok shares silently. At least he attends the session. He doesn't go to the liquor shop. This is another liquor of spirituality. So that is better. So